Now, where do you see the olfactory dysfunction? Little difficult question to guess. We all remember Kalaman's anosmia. Parkinsonism is the condition, early stages, typically olfactory dysfunction is associated. Now, tracheostomy tube. What are the problems that, what are the things you need to remember? Tracheostomy tube, it is the inner cannula which should be removed and cleaned whenever indicated for the first 3 days. And outer tube, unless blocked or displaced, should not be removed for 3 to 4 days to allow a tract to form. So it is basically a double lumen tube made up of titanium silver alloy is what need to be remembered. True positives, sensitivity, true negatives, specificity, as all of you know. Now in a case control trial, you can't calculate attributable risk. What you can come up with? Attributable risk is also called risk difference, that you can't calculate in case of case control trial. What you can calculate is only a odds ratio is what need to be remembered. Now doctor, longitudinal studies, what do you do in this? You will take a group of people and follow them throughout their life until you live as a researcher. So it helps in identifying the risk factors of the disease and based on the repeated observations. Then what are other kind of study? Only one observation done on a huge cross-sectional, in which the repeated follow-up is not available. So there you can't be able to follow the risk factor association at all. Now in freezer, what you don't keep, what you keep, everything you must be sure about vaccinology. So the vaccines which must be stored in the freezer compartment are OPV and measles, and that can be stored in the cold part but never allowed to freeze are typhoid, DPT, TT, DT, BCG and diluents. This is one of the favorite question of the examiner. The oral cholera vaccine is effective for about 6 months ideally. BCG is given immediately after the birth, and it is a deltoid muscle which is the preferable location for the cell culture rabies vaccine to be given, and it is given on 0, 7, 21, 28 is the regime which need to be remembered. We use normal saline to dilute the BCG, as all of you know very well. Now comes a wake up question of PGI. Tibial nerve injury or tibial nerve palsy, what will it lead to? Who will give me the correct answer? One confident answer. Tibial nerve injury or palsy, what does it lead to? Will it lead to loss of sensation, motor deficit, both of them? If so, then what and where is the question. Shiva proposes A. Dorsiflexion of the foot at ankle joint is lost. Huh? Plantar flexion is lost, hence dorsal flexion is still intact, you mean. Anantapur says B, Abhi also B. Tirupati says C, D, E. A is correct, that's right, there is dorsiflexion of the foot at ankle joint. Is it retained or lost? Huh? So that's the possible reason for the confusion. Otherwise, most of you correctly answered. Now, human rabies immunoglobulin, what is your dosage? Very painful question to answer, right? But NEET will have few painful questions also. Single liners. These are all the questions of the DNB question bank only. So that's the reason some of them can be straight repeats. Finally, all examiners, see, every university exchanges question bank with the other universities and with the national board, with the AIIMS, with the PGI, etc. Except PGI creates some unique things by multiple choice, but most of the times there is an exchange and validation of questions. What is validation? If a preventive medicine professor composes the question, that question will pass through medicine professor and a microbiology man if it is an infectious disease related question. Then when all of them agree, then it enters into question bank ultimately. So these the way of asking questions is generic. So first you must know the mind of the examiner, what he wants. What he wants is very important. So if you know what the other person wants, you can keep them happy. Whether it is entrance exam or marriage. So it ultimately is not knowing what the other wants brings all the misery. So 627 topics is to make your preparation like a happy marriage with the examiner's mind of what he wants, what you have to read and give the answer. That's important. So doctor, 20 international units per kg, but this is a sporadic question. There is no chance whether it will reappear or not, but what is important to understand is rabies in SPM and knowing about passive active immunization is all most important part of preparation. Now how many doses of MMR? This is a little controversial question, 1 or 2. 1 or 2. What is the present recommendation? Our doctor from PHC will answer. Yes. You give only 1, alright. But American Academy of Pediatrics and CDC, what is the recommendation? If you give only 1, the chances of failure are still 5%. 95% achieve, 5% miss it. Hence they said give second dose which will bring 99.7% immunity. अमेरिका में they practice too, but इंडिया में एक के लिए ही बहुत खर्च करना पड़ता गवर्नमेंट को. MMR is what? Live attenuated vaccine, so you won't give it in the all contraindicated scenarios where live attenuated can't be given. Now doctor, post exposure vaccination, when do you want to give? Typically 3 days of exposure. Why? Because the regular measles will come 10 days. Vaccine associated immunity will appear within 7 days. So the discrepancy of 3 days is a advantage. So even after exposure, until 3 days, if you give vaccine, still it will be effective. That is the idea of 3 days of, until 3 days of exposure. Then virus causing the rabies is fundamentally a street virus. Then quarantine period, standard question, 6 days. Plague is basically transmitted by flea. Then neonatal tetanus in a village, if you want to eliminate, what are the criteria that define an elimination? Neonatal tetanus high risk districts means rate more than 1 per 1000 live births, immunization cover less than 70%, attended deliveries less than 50%. Control कब बोलेंगे? When the rate is less than 1 per 1000, immunization is more than 70%, attended delivery is more than 50%. Elimination when you call, when the rate is less than 0.1 per 1000 and immunization coverage more than 70%, attended delivery is more than 75%. If the NEET is on 23rd, all this misery need to be remembered for only 23 more days, no 20 more days. Chandler's index is hookworm. Vector for dengue fever is the tiger mosquito, Aedes. Okay, doc. Should be one confident answer for this PGI flick. Breast arterial blood supply is from where? Multiple answers. ABD is an answer coming from Shiva. Superior thoracic, internal mammary, lateral thoracic. Kiran also proposes ABD. You also agree with that? That's good. ABD. That's right. Then hepatitis B देने के लिए what is the regime and schedule? 016 is the typical schedule. Chikungunya is monkey, which is the reservoir, is what you need to remember. Then pulsus bisferiens. Typically what happens in HOCM? There is a dynamic aortic left ventricular outflow tract obstruction. When systole begins, blood will jump into root of aorta. Immediately interventricular septum and mitral valve will come closer and obstruction is there. So flow will fall. But it is a dynamic obstruction. It will once more relieve and once more blood flows out. So two impulses will be there. So AS and AR alone when it is severe, when there is a runoff, and HOCM are the examples of pulsus bisferiens is what need to be remembered. Headache is a very common feature of essential hypertension in most of the people. LV hypertrophy, where do you see? Aortic stenosis, CKD, hypertension, cor pulmonale mein right ventricular hypertrophy is what you basically come across. Malignant hypertension can lead to hypertensive retinopathy, renal failure, or microangiopathic hemolytic picture. They are all the possibilities. In atrial fibrillation, there are no P waves, there is a irregularity of RR interval. Very easy way to identify on ECG is check how is the RR distance. One RR distance long, one short, one long, one short, means atrial fibrillation. Tall P waves are not the feature in case of atrial fibrillation. Where do you find tall P waves? Tall P waves, just like tall QRS is due to ventricular hypertrophy, tall P wave should be because of any condition causing hypertrophy of the atria. In case of mitral stenosis, you call it as bicuspid P wave, P mitral it is called as. In case of tricuspid stenosis, you get a P wave which is bigger one.